So now I want to show you a little bit about what Premiere can do for us. I'm going to quickly edit something together on a timeline and put transitions, put an effect, make a graphic, and play it out to see what we come up with. Now that we have all these files imported into our project, I'm going to go up and scroll up here to my sequences bin, which I have this other sequence, Intro to Premiere Pro, and I'm just going to double click on that. And you can see it opens up over here. And I'm going to start putting some of these files in our timeline. So the first thing I'm going to work with is my 30-second keeper. I'm going to drag it into my source panel. So this looks like a good spot. I'm going to mark an endpoint. I'm going to mark an out point. I'm just going to grab it and bring it down. I'm going to do that with the same thing with the sea turtle. Mark an endpoint. Come over here right before the diver comes in, mark an out point, grab it and bring it down. Do that for the other clips. The sea lion clip. Endpoint, out point, bring it on down. And finally, let me scroll down a little bit more. Oops, actually it's up here at the top. Let me grab that, the underwater free fall, and I'm going to get the diver right here, marking an endpoint, marking an out point, and bringing the diver down. And now let me zoom into my timeline by pressing the plus key. I'm just going to select my media and grab them and drag them over. Now the great thing about Premiere and a lot of other video editing programs is that they're non-linear. And what non-linear allows us to do is to literally just move the clips any which way that we want. We don't have to edit from left to right. We can come over here. I can make edits over here. I can extend this clip or shrink this clip up to change what I actually brought down on my timeline. I can reorder. I can actually grab a clip and actually overlay it on top of another clip. So you delete the clip that you put the media over top of. I'm just going to Command Z or undo that, or Control Z on the Windows machine to undo that, and you can see it pops right back up. So we're working very efficiently here in Premiere. All of the files that we work with inside of Premiere are references of the actual media files, so we don't harm any of the original files. So we're just taking bits and pieces of it and putting together a project. So we have Jason Fish over here talking. So we're going to just make this, come over here and layer these up top. Let's play this down to see what it looks like.
Our courses range from adventure diving to technical diving. Check out our website or give us a call to experience the adventure yourself.
And that's not bad. I'd actually like to take the sea lion and bring it up to the top. I'm going to put the scuba diver and all of the fish as the last clip. I'm just going to drag those around. Do that again. I'm going to play this down to see what it looks like.
Technical diving. Check out our website or give us a call to experience the adventure yourself.
And that's not bad. Now there's a few things that I want to show you. Is that if I go over to the effects panel, I'm going to put in some video transitions. Come down here, I'm going to grab some dissolves, go over here to the cross dissolve, drop it between those clips, drop it between that clip. I'm actually going to put it at the top on the beginning of this one clip over here, if it actually will let me do that. There we go. I'm going to zoom in again to my timeline by pressing the plus key. Grab my arrow, slide this over. I'm just going to grab the end and bring that down by 20 frames. Click on this, go to the effect controls, type in 10. Grab this one, do the same thing, type in 10. Go back to that. Zoom out once or twice, and before I render, this is what actually indicates if you have to render your timeline, is if you have these red bars on this little gray line, and they'll turn green once you've rendered. And we're going to render at the end, but I just want to let you know about that right now. Finally, I'm going to just drop a color correction on this clip because it's a little too red. So I'm going to go in my video effects, I'm going to go to adjust, I'm going to go to the auto color, drop that on there, and maybe actually go into effect controls real quick, open up auto color and change that up a little bit, blend with the original a little bit more, and just mess around with that a little bit, and that looks okay. So we've got an effect, we've got some transitions. Now we need to know who this person is that's talking. So I'm just going to come over here to the project panel. I want to click on New Item, go down to Title. These dimensions for the new title are okay. I'm going to just type this title's name as Jason. Click OK. So you can see that we load up the titler. And we can go over to the tools. I'm going to grab this rounded rectangle. And I'm just going to drag this out over top over here to create a lower third. I'm actually going to resize this. And you can see that this is even a liquid interface, which we'll talk about in the next chapter. And I'm just going to change the style of this particular rounded rectangle because I'm still selected on it. So I'm just going to change it to that. And that looks good. It gives us a nice little depth background. I actually don't like the color that this is. The red color, or actually the gradient color in the center. Come over here, just change it to a solid. Come over to this, and let me change it to maybe a light red. No, that's too red for us. Let's go back in, and I'll change it to a yellow. There we go. That's okay. Stands out, if anything else. Come over here. I'm going to grab the type tool. Just going to type over here and type in Jason Fish, which is this gentleman's real name. Come over here. You can see that we still have the style selected. So I'm just going to come up here, find a different style, maybe something in black. Hold Shift, drag this down. Position that ever so slightly. I'm actually going to Shift select that and the rounded rectangle behind it so I can align it to the center horizontally. And now I'm going to come back in over here. I'm going to grab my type tool again. I'm just going to type in TSC hyphen course director. Hold the command key down or the control key if you're on the PC so you can grab the whole thing and reposition it. Hold the shift key down too to resize proportionally. Grab that and bring that right down to the center, just like that. And now, if I grab my selection tool, which is up here, select all of this by dragging a marquee selection around it, I'm going to distribute them evenly and horizontally. So therefore, everything is nice and spaced out appropriately. And that's good. That's all we're going to do for this. So I'm just going to do X out of that. I'm going to come over here. You can see that the Jason title is right here. I'm going to grab that, bring that down over here. Scroll up a little bit, slide this in, bring it down, go back into my video transitions, grab my cross dissolve, bring it on that, select that, go to my effect controls, type in 10, so it's 10 frames long, and now you can see that we have a nice fade out, and we have a fade between some of the other clips too. So one more thing to do, we're going to add some audio. So I'm going to come down here to my project panel, right click, I'm going to go to import. I'm going to navigate to my media files folder in our project files folder, and I'm going to select background.aif. I want to select import. It's going to import that for me. I want to grab that, bring it right down there onto our timeline just by clicking and dragging on it. Have that extended a little bit, zoom in, and now let's play this down to see what it looks like.
Our courses range from adventure diving to technical diving. Check out our website or give us a call to experience the adventure yourself.
Now you may be wondering why I left such a long tail after the video has ended, and that's just because we're going to turn this down to make it fade out. So I want just this extra media to allow us to do that. First off, this audio is way too loud because I cannot hear the audio from the 30-second Keeper movie. So I'm just going to come down here, grab this yellow line, which is our volume. It says right here. So I'm going to grab that down. Finally, I'm going to grab my pen tool over here out of the toolbar. I'm going to hold the command key down or control key on the PC. Click once on that yellow line and you can see we add a keyframe. I'm going to click again, add another keyframe. And I'm just going to click and drag and ramp that down. And that's going to give us a nice little fade out effect. So I'm just going to adjust those to give us that nice fade out. Maybe bring this in a little bit. And let's play this down one more time. I'm going to hit the home key on the keyboard to bring us back to the beginning of the timeline, and now I'm going to press play again.
Our courses range from adventure diving to technical diving. Check out our website or give us a call to experience the adventure yourself.
And that's not too bad. Now, we've only spent a few minutes working this and putting this together, but we have to render it. You can see that we have these big red lines that I was telling you about. So in order to render your project, all you have to do is press enter on the number pad on your keyboard, and it's going to render your entire timeline. So just hit enter. Premiere will render that for you. And once it's done, you just hit the home key again, press play.
Our courses range from adventure diving to technical diving. Check out our website or give us a call to experience the adventure yourself.
So there you go. We've created a graphic, we've talked about transitions, we've even added some color correction to this particular clip. And you're going to learn how to do all of this and more during the course of this series. We've even adjusted audio, and how did we get all of this onto our timeline? We had to do some editing. So this is the first glimpse that you have of what Premiere can do for you. So in the next few chapters, we're going to go over setting up your workspace, basic editing, effects, exporting. We're going to talk about it all. So I look forward to seeing you in the next chapter.